Alright, so I know that I'm doing tag videos left and right these days, but I wanted to create a tag video that had some more thought-provoking questions than the usual, oh, how did you find out about project panning? Or, what's the hardest thing for you to pan? I wanted some questions that made you think a little bit and that weren't so easy to answer. So, I came up with the tag on my own, and I'm calling it the Ultimate Panners tag. Now, that's a really cheesy name. I wrote these questions at like 3 o'clock in the morning last night, and I couldn't figure out a name, so I just decided to name it that. So if you guys want to do this video, then please go ahead and do it. Even if you want to just leave your answers in the comments below. I will be tagging specific people. I don't tag a lot of people just because a lot of project panners that I know, they all know each other. So I feel like if I tag too many people, there's not going to be enough people for my friends to tag. So, but this is a new tag, so I will be tagging a few people. The first question is, what is one product you've thought about panning, but you haven't panned it yet, and why haven't you? Well, I don't know when this video is going to go up, but the product that I've been thinking about panning for a while is actually something that I'm panning in a new collab project pan. So, but something that I really do want to pan, but that I'm kind of scared to pan is like anything nail polish. I did have polishes in my 18 by 2018 or something, but that was a total fail. And I see so many people that do project polish and they add polishes into their project pans, and I'm amazed because I don't go through polishes like that. And I'm somebody who wears nail polish every day. My nails are never not painted, but I only paint my nails maybe twice a week, and I rarely ever do my toes, like rarely ever. If it's like the summertime and I'm wearing flip-flops and sandals, then yes, I will paint my toes for that, but any other time of the year my toes just don't get painted. So even though I wear a lot of nail polish and I own a lot of nail polish, I don't go through polishes. I've only ever finished one bottle of polish, and it was last year, and that was a freaking miracle. So the product that I kind of want to pan but haven't panned yet because I'm scared is definitely any kind of nail polish. The next question is, what is one piece of advice you would give to somebody who is new to panning that you think is essential for them to know? Well, something I wish that I figured out when I first started project panning is that you should not pan products that you hate. When I got into project panning, I thought that it was just about getting the stuff out of your collection that you don't want or you don't like, which it is partially about that, I guess, but I would never advise somebody to use up a product that they don't like. Or if you're panning something and you discover you don't like it, take it out of the project and just declutter it. Because trying to pan something that you hate will make you hate project panning, and that would be really sad because project panning is such a wonderful side hobby, I guess. It's a wonderful community on YouTube. I don't want anybody to ever resent project panning. So my advice would be to pan things that you like, or pan things that you love, or things that are even holy grail, because even those need to be used up. So I would say just don't pan anything that you don't like. I've been there. I've forced myself to pan things that I hated in the beginning of my, project panning life, I guess. And it made me really hate project panning. I put all products that I hated in my first project pan in 2015. And even though I did complete those products, it made me hate project panning so much so that I didn't pan for months afterwards. So that's something that I would strongly advise against. Number 3 is, how do you stay motivated to pan when one of your items just isn't going anywhere? Honestly, I put this question in here solely to hear other people's answers because I struggle with this a lot. I get really impatient and I don't like to work with things once I get frustrated with them. I have had some products that have been in multiple project pans and just don't want to die. So I get so frustrated just looking at them that I just end up decluttering them. So I really do want to hear other people's answers on this. Number 4 is, what are your goals for your makeup collection? Is there a certain number of products you would like to have for each category? For me, I don't really have a specific number in mind for most of my categories. Well, for lipstick, I do have like a number. I do want to be below 50 just because I know that lipstick is my weakness. If I don't set a number, I'm just going to buy as many lipsticks as I want. So I would like to stay under 50 lipsticks, and I have been doing that successfully for the past year. But my overall goal for my makeup collection is just to get it down to a manageable size, and a size where like I don't have too many products that I don't like or that I never use. I want to get my products down to stuff that I love, and stuff that, like, if I were to just reach in and grab a random thing, I would be happy to use it no matter what it is. That is really my goal for my makeup collection. I don't have any number goal aside from my lipsticks. But I'm also not trying to be a minimalist either. Like, I don't want just one foundation, one blush. I can't do that. I need variety. I need things to pick from. So I'm not going for a minimalistic collection, but I'm going for a collection that is manageable and doesn't give me anxiety just from looking at it. Number 5 is, what have you learned about yourself through project panning? I have learned that I am very impatient. I've always thought of myself as a patient person, especially because I love working with kids. I plan on becoming a teacher. I currently work at a daycare, so I've always thought of myself as a very patient person, but I have discovered that project panning makes me very impatient. Like, everyone has always got like those few stragglers, like those 2 or 3 products that are just hanging on at the end of a project, and I hate them. I hate when that happens. I just want everything to be gone, and I want it all to be gone now. I get so frustrated and impatient, especially with like products that just don't move, as I said earlier, or products that like I'm like, when it's like nearing toward the end of a project and these products are still hanging on by a thread. I get so impatient with that. So that is something that I've learned about myself, that I can be a little impatient. I've also learned a lot about like my makeup preferences. Like, I never used lip liners before, and now ever since I put one in a project pan, I realized that, wow, I really do love them and things like that. But personality wise, that is what I have learned about myself. Number 6 is, if you are currently panning, what is your most and least favorite products in your project? My most favorite will probably have to be by Becca Moonstone. Because of the progress, it's moving slowly but steadily, and I really like the color, love highlighters, all that. My least favorite, probably a tie between the Wet n Wild bronzer and the Wet n Wild mattifying powder. I love Wet n Wild as a brand. I'm not trying to bash them in any way, but the mattifying powder has like almost no product in it. It's so easy to hit pan, and the bronzer is so difficult. Because that bronzer can come off a little bit orangey, I have to be really careful and only use a tiny amount. So for that reason, I mean, it's still fairly early on in the project. I still have like 3 more months left in it, but it's just not going anywhere, and it's frustrating. Number 7 is, what is it about the project panning community that makes you enjoy it more than the mainstream beauty community on YouTube? I have 2 answers for this question. One is that I rarely see any hate comments on a project panner's video. They're all very supportive and uplifting. I'm sure there's been like 2 or 3 trolls here and there, but I only ever see supporting and uplifting comments and comments of encouragement, and that is something that is vastly different from the mainstream beauty community on YouTube. If I watch a Jaclyn Hill video and I look into her comment section, there's so much cruelty and cattiness and just mean-spirited comments, and we don't really get that nastiness in the project panning community. The second one is kind of the reviews and recommendations aspect of project panning versus the mainstream beauty community on YouTube. If somebody uses up an entire lipstick or an entire foundation or just an entire product and still stands by that product and still recommends it, that means more to me than somebody who has used the product for a week and is like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, it's holy grail. And this is no shade to the bigger YouTubers, and I know that they do empties videos and stuff like that as well, but I feel like sometimes when bigger beauty gurus, they say they finished a product, they mean they hit pan on it. Like, that's what I see a lot of the times in empties videos, where they're getting rid of a single eyeshadow that is not completely gone, still has quite a bit of product left, but because they've hit pan, that means they finished it. And I think that we, as Project Panners, get to see a different side of some of this so hyped up makeup, because we actually use up every ounce of product. We see the nitty gritty of these makeup products, and by the end of it, we can tell what is really good and what really isn't. Like the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, for example. I have yet to come across somebody who has panned the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette and still likes it. Everyone that I've come across on YouTube that has panned that palette ends up hating it. So I think that says a lot about how that palette performs once you get down to the nitty gritty of it. And that's not the fault of the big YouTubers. It's their job to keep using and talking about what's new and what's hot. But I feel like we get a better sense of whether a product is good quality or not, because most of the time we end up using the entire thing. If somebody finishes an entire eyeshadow palette and still say, you know what, yeah, I would rebuy that entire palette to use it again, that says a lot, because when you're project panning, you get sick of a lot of products. So I kind of trust the reviews and recommendations of project panners more than people who are in the mainstream beauty community. Number 8 is, how do you keep yourself from giving into the hype of the newest product? For me, I just don't purchase anything right away, because I've realized that I usually only want the newest products because they're new and because everyone is talking about them and there's so much buzz going on about them. So what I do is I look at the newest product, like the Too Faced Natural Love palette, for example. I looked at it and looked at it and looked at it. And because I did that, and because I didn't buy it right away, I realized that I didn't actually want it. I wanted it because it was a big palette and it looked pretty, but that was it. I didn't actually think I would use those shadows, so it would just end up taking up a massive amount of space in my collection for no reason. Whenever a hot new product comes out, I sit down and I think, why do I want this? Do I want this because everyone is talking about it, so I want to see what it's like for myself? Or do I want it because it's something that I think I will actually like and use? For example, I did bite the bullet and buy the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette the exact day that it came out. But I wanted it because I didn't have anything like this in my collection. I don't have a ton of bright, colorful shadows, and I definitely don't have anything pastel. And I knew that I would get a lot of use out of it, and I am getting a lot of use out of it, so I'm really glad that I made this purchase. But that is something that I want to do more often. Purchase something if I know that I will like it and get use out of it, and try to stay away from the products that I think I only want them because they're new and they're pretty and I like how they look. Number 9 is, what made you start doing project panning videos on YouTube? Now, I mean, if you don't have a YouTube channel and you want to do this, you can answer it with, like, if you're doing it on Instagram, what made you want to do it on Instagram? Suit it to your needs. But I had done YouTube in the past. YouTube is something that I've always watched. I watched YouTube since YouTube came out in like 2006. And YouTube was always something that I really enjoyed. It was a pastime for me, not just the beauty community, but just YouTube videos in general. And like I said, YouTube was always something that I was interested in doing as a side hobby kind of thing. And I did do YouTube before this. I uploaded videos quite consistently for about a year, a while ago, and then I felt like my channel wasn't going anywhere. I didn't know what to do with my channel. Even though I was doing beauty videos and stuff like that, and like talking videos, advice videos, opinionated videos, stuff like that, I didn't know what to do with my channel. I felt like it wasn't going anywhere. So I got frustrated one day and I deleted all my videos, and now I haven't done YouTube in years aside from now. So in January of 2016, I started my Floralisa Beauty Instagram account because I wanted to pan all throughout 2016. But I wanted to have a platform where I could post my progress and stuff like that and hold myself accountable. So I started Floralisa Beauty in January of 2016. I didn't think I was going to keep up with it, but I have to this day, and I'm really, really proud of that account that I have. And ever since I started that account, I've had people on that Instagram and even in real life tell me things like, hey, I love how you do your makeup. Can you please post makeup tutorials? Or, hey, you know, I really love watching your progress on project panning items. Can you please post videos about it on YouTube? I was actually really scared to do YouTube again just because, I don't know, YouTube is a scary place for me because I have anxiety. Hi. So because I have anxiety, I'm very critical of the way that I speak or the things that I say because I'm always worried about offending people and things like that, and I shouldn't be worried about that. I always thought to myself, well, there's so many people that project pan better than me, that do better makeup than me, so why do I need to put my content out there? But I realized, like, if people want you to do YouTube, or scratch that, even if you want to do YouTube yourself without anybody asking you, that is a good enough reason for you to put your content out there. So I decided to go out on a whim, and my first video on this channel that you guys can see is the Latina tag, and I was just kind of testing the waters with that. Then I started posting Get Ready With Me's. I did like one Get Ready With Me. And then I was asked to join Drop 10 Before Summer. And that was really when I started realizing that I really wanted to do project panning on YouTube. So that is what inspired me to do YouTube videos. I love filming, I love editing, I love interacting with people on YouTube and in the comments. This is actually the 6th video that I'm filming this weekend. It's currently Sunday, March 26th. So this is something that I really, really love doing. Number 10, how do you choose which products to declutter and which products to pan? Well, for me, it goes back to what I said earlier about not wanting to pan things that I don't like. If there is a product that I know I don't like, or a product that I just never see myself wanting to reach for, whether it's a good product or a bad product, I'm going to declutter it because I don't want to make myself miserable project panning. But if it's a product I know I like and it's close to being done, or I know that I can finish it within the time span of a project pan, or I like it but it's just been neglected, then I will toss it into a project. And finally, number 11, who do you tag to answer these questions? As always, I tag anybody that wants to do it, but I will be tagging specific people in the description, and all of the questions will be in the description bar as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really do. I'm kind of nervous putting this out there because I've never done anything like this before, and I kind of wanted to throw in some questions that were a little bit different than what is already out there in all of the other project panning tags. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!